personally use a lot, and it's basically trend jacking or using trends to your advantage to flip NFTs. So on my Twitter, I did post, find the trend, abuse it, then find the next one. This is the way. So this is obviously some A1 knowledge. Just kidding, guys, but make sure you do follow my Twitter if you haven't already. But basically, if you guys don't know, there's a lot of different trends in the NFT space, and I like to think of these as waves. So if you can catch the wave early and ride it for a long time, you can actually make a good amount of money, and you can actually secure a good amount of profits as well. And I like to think of these waves as they're going to happen with or without you. So I think that it's personally better to just be on the wave and not miss out. So we're going to be going through some examples in this YouTube video. So no matter how dumb you think it is, the trend is your friend until the end. I'm sure you guys have heard that. Kind of corny, but it is true. And I'm going to be going over some examples, and we're going to be doing some case studies here. So the first project is Loot. So if you guys have been in the space for around 2 months, you guys know that this was an extremely popular project that a lot of people were hyped about, and this actually got up to a floor price of 17 ethereum. And as you guys can see here, they're literally just words on a canvas, and they literally have nothing else to it. I know there was a lot of different talk about having a game built around it and stuff like that, but it doesn't seem like that's about to happen, and that's why the floor price has dropped very significantly to 2.95. So as you guys can see here, this is a very silly thing in my opinion. So after this project popped off, soon after, a bunch of people recognized this and just copy pasted this project everywhere. So if you are a company and saw this project do very well, there's literally nothing proprietary about it. You can literally just slap some random words and just post it out on OpenSea. So that's essentially what happened. You got a bunch of derivative projects like Loot. So right after Loot, this one came out, and I was actually able to mint a couple of these and buy some for a very cheap price. So I got these for free actually, and I only had to pay gas. So this actually ran up to a floor price of around 1.8 to 2 ethereum, and I actually started selling around that range. I sold some at 1.8 I believe, and some other ones at 0.8 and 0.9 if I'm not mistaken. So as you guys can see, I noticed that this trend took off of just simple words on the canvas. And then I saw this one come out very similar. I saw it popping off on Twitter, so I decided to mint a couple, and I secured some good profits. However, guys, this wasn't the only one. Once one project pops off, there's going to be a ton coming down the pipeline because they're trying to capitalize on this trend as well. So this one also came out, Salute for Scammers. So I actually was able to mint over 10 of these, I believe, and I actually made some good money flipping them. I only had to pay 0.02 for gas, but these actually got up to a floor price of around 0.45. I actually didn't end up selling the top, but I did end up making pretty good profit. And there was actually a lot of other ones like the End project as well. This was another derivative. This is just numbers instead of words, so slightly different, but same exact concept, same trend. And I think I did make some money on this as well. But anyways, I did make several $1,000s trading these derivative projects and just hopping on the trend, and it was really not too hard, and it was relatively simple. So if you guys are trying to implement this strategy into your trading, there is a few things that you need to note. We can actually look at the crypto markets to understand this. Basically, Bitcoin is the king, and a lot of people know that. Whether you like it or not, Bitcoin determines the whole entire market. As you guys can see here, Bitcoin is dipping. Therefore, every single project underneath here is dipping as well. So the market tends to follow Bitcoin, and that's the same thing with these projects. So the Loot project was the first to go, and this hit a 17 ETH floor. And the more it went up, the better these derivatives here did. So you need the first one here to do well. So this is basically the Bitcoin of the trend, and you need to be watching this whether you're in the project or not. You have to be watching the price action because this will affect all of these other ones that are underneath it, that are the copy pasted projects as well. So you have to look out for that, because if this crashes like it did here, these will basically go to zero, and that's essentially what happened, as you guys can see by the current floor prices. And the second thing you need to note if you are doing this is that these trends will end, and you do not want to be the person at the end of the day holding the bag for a large loss, right? You want to get in and then get out with your money. So on Twitter, people are going to be hyping these things up like crazy, saying they're going to the moon. Don't be that guy who just diamond hands it and rides this thing down to zero, because trust me, I have done that before, and it is not fun. You want to get in, ride the trend, take your profit, and then move on to the next one. That's how you make a good amount of money. So that was just one trend, and we can actually take a look at another case study here. So another project that popped off was On-Chain Monkeys. I actually minted these, and I actually sold at around 0.08 and took a little bit of a profit, and now they're at 0.45. So I kind of fumbled there, but it's all right. Profit is profit. But guys, nothing changes. It's the same exact thing over and over and over. So as you guys can see here, these were monkeys that were actually generated and made on chain, I believe, and that was really cool and trendy during that time. So these aren't words, slightly different, but basically these saw a lot of success. And what did we see after that? We had on-chain seasides. I actually got in and flipped these for a little bit, but I actually ended up bag holding at the end of the day because I held, I think, 1 or 2 of them for a loss. And then we also had on-chain wine, we had waves on chain, and a bunch of other projects popping off. So if you guys did get into these early, you were actually able to make a good amount of money on some quick flips. So if you have a low amount of capital, this is a strategy that you might want to look into. Again, not financial advice, but if you can get in early onto some of these projects and ride the wave, you can make some pretty good flips. I personally have done it, and I know a lot of people have done it as well. So you want to use this trick to your advantage. So you guys are probably wondering what the current trend in the NFT market is, and I think it's pretty apparent. So on my Twitter, I also tweeted, pixelated token projects are hot right now. Ride this trend while you can, but don't get caught holding the bag when it's over. So first, it was Cyberkongs. This was the project that made the token play very, very popular and prominent. So this ran up to a 17 ETH floor, and this model has been proven to work. As you guys know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel in the NFT space. If you copy a project or do something similar, you're bound to see some success. So the next one was the Bears Deluxe. So I was able to make over $4,000 trading this project here because I recognized the trend early and I hopped on. Another one is the Kaiju Kings. I actually didn't get in, but this is another token pixelated play. Then there was Bear X is out, and now Cosmic Wyverns is out, and Project Draka. They actually fumbled their mint, but I'll be covering this probably in a future video. So now I'm going to be covering some projects that I think have some big potential following this pixelated token trend. So the first one is the Divine Wolves, and these actually came out just a couple hours ago. As you guys can see, it came out 8 hours ago was their first tweet, but they already have a ton of traction on Twitter, and they only have 2,944 followers. So I haven't talked to the team just yet, but they did say they are willing to give some of my subscribers some whitelist spots, so that is very exciting. This is a brand new project. They don't even have a Discord out, but as this project gains more hype and they release more information about the project, I think that this could be pretty promising. The art here is very good. I think that this is some of the best pixelated art I've ever seen, so I think that's why it has been gaining a lot of traction on Twitter. I know a lot of other big influencers are really big on this project as well, so I would definitely keep your eye out on this one. If you do want a whitelist spot, I will be giving away some on my Twitter, and just like this video and comment down below, and make sure you are subscribed, and you'll be automatically entered to win one whitelist spot. So the next project I did want to talk about is Rukai Tempest. So this is a project that I talked about previously, and overall they have a good amount of stuff planned. You can check out their roadmap in their Twitter and their Discord as well. So I have actually DM'd the founder, and we've been going back and forth, and I've kind of just been getting to know the project a little bit more. But overall, this is showing some promising signs. It's actually not too big just yet, but if this gains a lot more traction, this is something I'll be keeping my eye out for. And if this does become really hyped and a lot of people seem to want to get in, this is a project that I will probably mint, as well as the Divine Wolves. Another project is the Almighty Pigs. So again, not really a big project. I kind of like to get in early because once the project gets too big, it's almost impossible to get whitelist spots. I like to get in early and secure the whitelist. Then if the project seems to be gaining traction and hype, I would mint, but if it doesn't take off, then I could just not choose to mint. Whitelist doesn't mean you're forced to buy in. So this is something I'm also taking a look at. Again, the art is very, very good. I actually just got off a call with the founders, and they said they could also hook us up with some whitelist spots. So if you guys do want some of those, I will be giving those away as well. So again, guys, this is a relatively new project launching soon. If you guys want to check this out, I would definitely check them on Twitter and Discord. We also have the Dormant Dragons. So these guys actually didn't want to team up with me, and that's totally fine, but they actually have a lot of hype on their Twitter and Discord as well, and their art is pretty cool too. But same exact thing as usual, token pixelated equals money as long as the trend is alive. However, I do want to give you guys a little bit of caution before we end the video. So we're going to be taking a look at the Mighty Gojiras. So I know a good amount of people have been following them, and it does seem like they had a decent amount of hype. But basically, they were a project of around 3,000. I don't know what quite happened to them. I wasn't paying attention too much. But essentially, the floor price didn't really take off, and I don't even think they sold out yet. I have to do a little bit more research to see why, but I think they are still currently minting, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of attention on this project. So this could potentially be a sign that the token pixelated projects are on the tail end of the wave. and we are kind of just riding that here. But as you guys can see, just because it's a token and pixel project doesn't mean it's bound to take off. There's still some risk, as you guys can see here. This project is having a decent amount of trouble by the looks of it. So this is a word of caution. Not everything that you buy will go up. There's still risk involved. Then lastly, guys, I did want to talk about my personal project that I'm currently working on, which is the Squishy Squad. So we are currently at 2,300 followers on Twitter, and we have also been gaining a lot of traction on the Discord. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to check out our project if you want to support me and the channel as well. I have been working a lot on this project, trying to provide as much utility to our holders. I also think that the art is just really, really cool, as you guys can see here. This is some of our sneak peeks. We have this dragon guy. I think he's super cute and derpy. We also have this mummy here. This was for our art contest. This is my personal profile picture. I think he's the best in the collection. We have our astronaut as well, and many others. I'm actually going to be giving away some whitelist spots on my Twitter today, so make sure you guys check that out as well. But that's going to wrap it up.